So now I'm going to get into the data templates and being able to customize your view of Toxnot, configure your view of Toxnot. So if we're looking at this bill of material here, you can see that first thing that comes up is part name, cast number, chemical name, our overall rating. And let's say you're working with the materials and product percent by weight all of the time. You're spending a bunch of time changing those. It's not the most convenient to need to scroll over to see those. And so we have set it up so you can set up a default template for the order that these columns are in. You get there by going to Data Templates, BOM Column Template, and here you can set up your columns, you can create new columns, you can organize them. So for someone who's working a lot with the percent weights, you might want to move those important columns way up here. Maybe you're doing a lot with roll, so you can move that up as well. And then you can either reset all products and materials to match the template, which would change everything in your product library to match this, or you can click Done Editing, and that will finish editing these overall columns. And this template that you've just made will only apply to new BOMs within the system. Next, you can also make custom columns. So there are things like you can set the column name. So I'm going to use the LBC red. I'm going to recreate this column because I think this would be a really useful column for a lot of people on this webinar. So you can create a custom column called LBC Red List and add the custom column. It defaults to go to the bottom of your list of columns. And then you can edit that column. You can add custom help text. You can add predefined values. For this, we're going to want to do a list flag column. So this goes ahead and creates this column as a list of flags. And you can flag as many lists as you want, but the Living Building Challenge Red List, obviously with the name that I named this column, is the one that I wanted on there. So I can go ahead and save this, and then I can move this column up to put it very high on what I see when I log into the tool. And that way I can view very quickly whether a chemical is an LBC Red List chemical or not. Additionally, you can also add other custom columns, things like in order to keep track of your data, you can say, you can use like reviewed. It literally can be any information. One of the things I've seen is that people want to get information about whether or not a chemical is a flame retardant. So they'll add a column called flame retardant. Make sure I spell that right. And they'll add that as a custom column. Then they can go ahead and edit it and add predefined values of yes or no. And that way anyone filling out or using this column will have to select yes or no when they enter this information, and so they can keep track of whether any given chemical is being used as a flame retardant. And again, you can edit that help text. So with chemical groups, it can get really complicated because there are many different definitions of that group. And so within your help text, you can define what that means for you. So we're going to go ahead and reset all the products and materials to match the template. And when we go back and look at this product, any of our products, you can see that our product percent and material percent by weight is now way further over here. You can see our roll has been moved up and that the LBC Red List chemicals are now, flags are much higher in the rows we see. If we scroll all the way over, we can see this flame retardant column, and we can click yes or no to edit that data.